Greetings, gamers! Welcome back to another episode of Retso Gaming Presents. Today, you have the joy of being presented with Horrified.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Fantastic game. Oh my god. 3 expansions to it now. Our first co-op game here on Retso Gaming Presents. And I guess to kick it off, it's probably best to present to you the first edition of the game, which has the old school Hollywood Universal
monsters. Some of the best stuff in the 1920s could offer.
OG.
He loves it. He loves his
I do.
Frankenstein.
I love him.
You love your
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Creature's your
Dracula.
favorite?
Bela Lugosi's Dracula. And chef's kiss.
Creatures, OG Creature's my favorite.
and we were playing the in the background the old music from these things.
Yeah.
Which
Black
was
and white.
It had a great atmosphere.
I feel like this
to it.
episode should just be in black and white. That's fine.
Well, you know what?
can we make that happen?
John, can you fix that in post?
Maybe the playthrough's in black and white. There we go.
That's a great idea. Maybe we could do that in playthrough.
We'll see.
So, Chris, why don't you give us a breakdown of how Horrified plays for us?
All right, so Horrified, as Dan said, it's our first cooperative game. It's also the first game that we've done on this show that you can actually play solo. So some people really enjoy playing board games solo, so this is one of those that actually fits in there. So the idea is this, that you're in a fictional town. It could either be in a Greek mythology, the American countryside, or some, I'm going to guess it's some sort of a European town, but it's being overrun by monsters. And you can choose how many monsters you actually fight. You can choose the monsters you fight. And they all have different win conditions, different levels of difficulty, etc. But as a group, you're collecting items on the board. In the original version from the Universal Monsters, it's stuff like, pickaxes, shovels, revolver, a silver cane from the Wolfman, crucifixes or holy water. You're picking up these colored resources that have multiple purposes. They can be your health. They can be what you turn in order to kill the monsters. They're basically your resource for the game. And then as a group, you're trying your best to manage the board, save the villagers if any of them pop up, and then you're trying to, at the same time, bring the monsters to their end, whether it is to kill them outright like Dracula or the Creature, or in our playthrough, we actually had to unite Frankenstein with his bride once they became more human.
Which I
keep them apart.
Aptly like to say, my wife and I, when we're pissed at each other.
There you go.
Keep them apart until they're good, and then they come back together perfectly. Oh. But it is a really, really fun cooperative game. We're going to run through a playthrough, and then I guess we'll talk more about it after that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Are you ready to be horrified?
Dun, dun, dun.
And we're back. That truly was horrifying.
We did it. I mean,
we succeeded.
Succeeded by the skin of our teeth, my friend.
It was literally close. One more round around the table and we would have lost.
Between running out of the cards, which is another lose condition for the group, and also getting enough horror.
Yep, terror.
Terror, actually.
The terror track.
And terror track. We were 2 away from losing there.
Yeah, we were 3 away from every time a creature, once we're done, a person activates, we flip a card to see what the creatures do, and those do not reshuffle back into the game. So that's also a ticker.
Yeah, that's your clock.
Yeah.
That's the clock. And so there's the clock, and then there's the instant lose condition, which is the terror.
Both, yeah. Like you're fighting 2 kind of timers.
The terror goes up whenever a player character dies, which I actually chose to die in the first round. Yeah. We had plenty of terror to give, so it's a resource that you can use instead of losing little chits. And also you get terror when villagers die. So there are random cards that bring out villagers who just so happen to be characters from the properties.
Yes.
So playing the Universal Monsters one, we had the bride from the Dracula movies. We had a little Abbott and Costello action.
Costello action was really
in there.
Cool
They make an appearance. The Igor character from Frankenstein makes an appearance as Fritz.
Yep.
The doctor who's hunting down the creature in the Black Lagoon is a villager. So they are wandering around the board too aimlessly, and you have to try to rescue them unless you allow the terror to go up.
They have a location that they want to go to, so you could bring them there and you get a reward. So you get another kind of almost instance-phased card that will do either teleport you friendly or move monsters up to 3 spaces. So sometimes, picking them up along the way, and if you watch the playback here, we dragged a few of them and we reaped rewards from it. And that probably saved us too.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
There was
game-breaking cards.
2, 3, 4 cards we used, and they were like really powerful.
Game-breaking cards that helped us win this game. And the strange thing, because we've guess we could say we're kind of veterans.
We've played the Universal Monsters quite a few times,
and we've played the American one. We haven't played the Greek mythology yet.
The Greek and the Cthulhu
and
are on
deck. We haven't played them yet, but we've played these enough to know, and we still have not beaten the Mummy.
Still not beating the Mummy.
No. So
next on the list, beat the Mummy.
Beat the Mummy. It's definitely a harder one, but I thought we were just cruising.
We were cruising.
I thought everything was great. We're dying on purpose. Oh, that's all right. We have it. We got the extra.
There was
resource,
no villages on the board.
And the
so we were like, we're safe.
Next thing I know, the clock is ticking. I looked. I was like, oh man, we only got I looked when there was 6 cards left, and I looked at the board. I'm like, oh wait a minute, I don't know if this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then I got stuck in the corner with 3 of the monsters within 1 square of me, which is horrifying. Absolutely horrifying, because I thought I was going to die, and the terror track was right there. Man, but those key cards, like you said.
The key cards, and also having the colors out on the chits that you need to finish what the monsters need to defeat them. So we got lucky where there was a plethora of reds out, which the Dracula needs. And so what is it? It was the
red to get rid of the coffins for...
Yes, and then
Dracula.
So
and then yellow defeat him.
To give you a little, and this kind of goes along with Waterdeep, when we talked about a couple weeks ago. They have theme in there. You can think of it as red chits or yellow chits or blue chips, but they all actually have pictures on them. And it just so happens that to kill Dracula, you have to destroy his coffins, which are in the dungeon and the cave and the crypt and other places around the board, and you use red chits. Now, red chits are the things like the baseball bat and the shovel and the pickaxe and the crane,
the stake.
Bludgeoning objects.
I think the stake was there. Was the stake in the yellow?
But to kill Dracula, once you have killed all of his places, you have to use yellow chits. Just so happens that yellow chits are things like the holy water, the crucifix, and the wooden stake.
The stake, yeah.
So it's easy enough that it's red, yellow, blue. But it's also deep enough that if you want to, you can kind of look for the theming that's in there too.
It's in there deep.
And just to solidify, the blue stuff is all the scientific stuff, like the scientific equipment to solve the Wolfman's lycanthropy.
Yes,
or the bride, or to try to
coax the bride. Yeah. So, but all the blue chits are more scientific. Like there's a telescope or a microscope or a centrifuge is one of the pieces. But so just another level of, you can take it for what it is as red, blue, and yellow, or you can dig one level deeper, getting into the theme and say, oh, I'm going to kill Dracula with this crucifix and this stake.
Which is probably what always just makes me like the game so much more, that it has that little extra lore involved in it, instead of just me playing a game that seems cool. It's got cool mechanics, but now you got that flavor in there, and it just feels that much better.
Yeah, the American one having all of the American folklore monsters.
Yeah, so I wanted to pull up the list of characters so that you know. So all 4 of these are actually standalone games. They're not expansions. So if you like one theme better than the other, and they all play almost identical. I know that the World of Monsters and the Greek, they have one little upgraded mechanic, and they can actually be intermixed. You can play them together if you want.
Yeah, they're compatible.
So
in the Universal Monsters one, you have Frankenstein, which we played against. We have Dracula, the Bride of Frankenstein, which goes there. The Wolfman, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, and the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
And then on difficulties, there's easy, medium, and hard.
Yeah, so I believe Dracula, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and the Invisible Man are your easy characters. The Wolfman, I believe, is one of your medium characters, and then Frankenstein and the Mummy are your hard characters.
And then you could organize them however you want, too. You could, you know what, let's do the 3 easy ones the first time out and see how we do, and then put a medium, and, if you have to beat the Mummy, it's probably the most difficult.
Can I throw in a request before we go on to the next box?
Yeah.
If anybody's beaten the Mummy, please leave a comment and tell us how the hell you did it, because that I mean, with the RNG of any kind of board game, and even though we have skill in the game, it just the puzzle solving and that whole that undiscoverable puzzle that he's got.
You have to get lucky with how the puzzle shakes out.
Is it just luck, or is there a skill to it that we are unaware of?
Because you're also running around from other, a few
doing
other
2 other monsters that you're trying to kill too.
So intensive. So anyway,
the American Monsters one. This has monsters. This has your cryptids from the internet. Bigfoot's in there. The Jersey Devil. Welcome home.
Local.
The Mothman. The Chupacabra.
Local boy.
He's a local boy.
The Ozark Howler, and the Banshee of the Badlands are in the American version one. In the Greek one, you have the Medusa, you have the Cerberus, the 3-headed dog, you have the Minotaur, the Chimera, the Siren, and the Basilisk. And last but not least, the newest of the 4 to the journey is the Sphinx, the Yeti. I'm going to mispronounce this one. The Jangashi, and Cthulhu himself is actually one of the monsters that you can compete against. Excellent. And one that's not pictured here. Ravensburger actually did Krampus.
Which
Oh, that's Krampus, which we got.
We did it at PAX Unplugged,
Oh, man,
and we did the special event.
So you can actually add Krampus to one of the other two, the World of Monsters, the Greek one, as one of the characters if you are in a festive mood.
I'm pissed I forgot to bring that kit. We got that kit at PAX Unplugged, right?
Yeah. The special demo we got. We did the sign up and we sat down.
As Krampus was walking around,
that
lurking around us,
was awesome. You remember that guy?
He was yelling at people.
If you could find like YouTube walkthroughs of PAX Unplugged from 2024, 2024.
Look for the Krampus cosplay guy at the Ravensburger booth.
Oh man,
insane.
Unbelievable. And he just barking at people the whole time.
Yeah. And I think we were trying to get like carolers away from, or like kids. Was it like
Saint Nicholas was on the board, and certain I think elves or kids were there, and Krampus was trying to take the kids, and we were trying to deliver the kids to Saint Nicholas to protect them and save them.
Yeah.
And then once all the kids were off the board, we were able to then deal with Krampus himself.
Yes.
That's the cool thing about this is every monster has a different win condition. We already talked about Dracula. The creature in the Black Lagoon, like the movies, you're spending chits to move the boat further down the river.
You're color based, so you have to have the right color or enough to progress.
And you have to progress the boat far enough so you'll find his lair. And then once you find the lair of the creature in the Black Lagoon, then you can actually find him and kill him.
Give him the business.
We talked about the Bride already and Frankenstein. The Invisible Man, you are handing in chits to the police officers. So the police don't believe you. The Invisible Man doesn't exist. I don't know where all these thefts are happening. You have to hand in evidence in the form of blue chits to the police. And then once the police believe you, then you can go and actually arrest the Invisible Man in its proper form. And then what's the other one?
The Wolfman, you find the cure.
The Wolfman, you're trying to find the cure for lycanthropy.
But he's also hunting someone. Someone of the group gets a hunted mark, and so you're specifically on his list.
Yep. And every time he moves towards you, not to anybody else. Usually it's whoever's the closest. He moves towards the hunted, marked person.
Does he generate a terror when he kills the...
Oh, absolutely.
The hunted person,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Is it an extra one, or is it just
it's not an extra one, it's just traditional. But he's always hunting that one person. So it could snowball quickly.
Yeah.
So you're looking...
Think about him with, like, the Bride and Frankenstein on the board. That's a nightmare.
And then we already talked about the Mummy. The Mummy is you have this scarab puzzle, kind of like this sliding piece puzzle that you turn in chits to slide the puzzle pieces. And once the puzzle has been unlocked, you now know how you can defeat the Mummy, and you go to the Mummy.
He just absorbs so many chits.
It takes so many chits and so many just actions to do that puzzle. And I'm sure there's certain situations where the puzzle lines up RNG wise that you can do it quicker. And there's other RNGs where it takes more slides of the puzzle to do it, and then it just takes too much time.
Timed out.
It's still just challenging either way. It's not impossible. It's just, it's a little annoying thing, but if it wasn't annoying, it wouldn't be fun when you beat it.
And I think for me, that's the joy of this game. It's something we can discuss as a group. Like, all right, if we do this, and this is like probably the most efficient or the best move, and that talking amongst ourselves to be like, all right, you know what, this is the best move, let's go.
Yeah, we need action efficiency, and everybody gets to throw in their viewpoint on the best way to commence each turn. So even though it might be your turn, Sal might have the awesome idea on how to utilize your character better, plus have those utility cards, which are
don't get me wrong. I enjoy really beating Dan at games, but I love co-op games just as much, if not a little bit more, because I feel like they're more approachable. And a good thing is I know the game inside and out. Maybe what if Sal doesn't know? I can aid him through those first couple plays and get him up to speed. And then he never feels as if he's behind the eight ball, like, I don't want to learn a game that you've played 27 times, because we're not competing, we're actually working together. So co-ops really fit that new player vibe too.
Absolutely. You're just enjoying the experience anymore. You're like, I don't know. And they'll help me. And this is great. You don't have to worry about, and you're also not going to misplay. You won't make a mistake. We'll make, the others that have played experience wise will, they'll put their little arm around you and say, don't be scared. Yeah. I know it's horrified, but you're not going to make a mistake. We shouldn't do that.
I know Dracula beat you once, but you'll be fine.
Yeah. And not every play is like 100% optimal. It's just mostly optimal at times, and you still get through it stuff. So, but yeah, I think that's my favorite part of the game. The themes for each of these games, and I'm super pumped for the Greek one for some reason.
I'm staring at the back of the box right now.
It's the monsters, and it has that like.
What time is it?
It's almost time to play another game of Horrified.
But yeah, so.
And I'm not scared to do it.
Well, because we were successful once.
Yeah, it's just
and the Mummy's not in that one, so we should be good.
Yeah, as long as he's over there.
Well, we haven't even found the American one we've done once or twice, and we haven't even found who's the one. I'm sure there's one.
There's probably one, yeah.
So we'll get there. Yeah, super fun game.
It's probably the Jersey Devil.
No, the Jersey Devil is one of the easier ones.
Oh, is it?
I feel
okay.
like
We definitely played when we played that one time. We definitely chose the Jersey Devil because I mean, hometown boy.
I feel like the Mothman's gonna be. But
Chupacabra, maybe. Well, Bigfoot doesn't exist, so I'm not worried about him.
He just lumbers around.
Yeah,
He just lumbers around. We got a couple.
You got to take. I'm pretty sure with Bigfoot is you have to turn in shits to take a picture of him.
Oh my goodness! As I said in the past, it always happens. Every podcast, I find a way to introduce John.
And here it is.
Bigfoot. And we have a Bigfoot that frequents Red Seal Gaming. His name is Big John. There you go, John.
oh my god,
You got a shout out again. Are you happy?
God help us. That one. He's not gonna be out with that
I
one.
hope not. I hope it doesn't break me in two next time he sees me. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, once again, we have them in the store. We have the Cthulhu one right now.
Yeah. So at this point, we should have Universal Monsters. We should have the American one, and we should also have the World of Monsters, which is the Cthulhu one.
Cthulhu one.
And when it comes back in stock, I'm sure the Greek one will be there too.
Is the Greek which one's the newest? Is the Greek the newest?
The
Cthulhu.
World of Monsters is the
Is it
newest.
newest? Okay.
This is the order that they came in. This was first. That one was last.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's Horrified. That sums it up. We had a great time. A good co-op game. It's nice to not have to bash heads with Chris, but to instead do things cooperatively. I'm sure we'll go right back at it in about 7 minutes, but that's just the way it goes. But
One of our favorites. So.
one of our favorites, without it. It's on our favorite list. I think all three of us probably would put it on there as just a great game. Replay value is high, cost is low. I mean, you look at any game that we play, I think it's always about the replay value because there's plenty of games that are big and they're involved, and the replay value is just not there. You know, you play it, you're like, all right, I experienced it, but this, I'm looking forward to play it again right now.
And we got two whole games to go through. We haven't even got to these two, so it's, super pumped.
Plenty to go. So,
and you have, it's 5 to 6 monsters in a box and unlimited combinations of which 2 or 3 or 4 you want to play if you're that sadistic.
Oh, 3 hard? I can't even imagine. Do the 3 hard ones?
Yeah. Imagine do the 2 hard ones.
I mean, I don't even 2 we could pass.
Stop. I'm starting to get horrified.
We'll do it.
We'll definitely do it. But
and if you want to see us do it, let us know in the comments.
Oh my God.
If, like I said, if you've beaten the mummy, let us know. If you have any experience with the mummy or any other of these creatures, give us a heads up.
What's the strat?
Maybe
What's the
that's
strat?
the thing. Maybe we play until we beat the mummy, and when we beat the mummy, they subscribe to the channel. Maybe that's what we do.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one. I like that idea. You heard what he said. But thanks for joining us as always. I hope you check out Horrified someday. You can always get it here at Red Seal Gaming in Mattawa, New Jersey. But have a great day and never stop gaming.
Dun, dun.